There we go. Thanks for coming, Jake.
Pleasure as always.
Yeah, I wanted to I've got a few shows this week of reviewing the CrossFit Games, just because I wanted to I went and I wanted to kind of just get people's perspectives from a broad range of sort of vantage points. So I've got yourself who will have been heavily engaged in it from afar. I've got Harry Keane tomorrow who competed in it for Team AOD. And I've got the guy that runs Project where I train. He's coming on on Wednesday. So it'd just be interesting to see what people made of it, because I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
But how are you anyway, mate? You've
good.
had a mad evening, haven't you? Trying to get back for this?
Yeah, coached. What did I do today? A few hours of PT, a few hours of the CrossFit sessions. I had 5:30 to 6:30, and then had to tidy up and get the scores up, and then shot home and got straight on the computer. But it's all part and parcel of the job, being a coach, isn't it? But
yeah, definitely.
There's the downsides of any job, but this job, there's much fewer downsides to this profession than there are any other role. Much more. And I think when this kind of role, when you're in this industry, you learn that the simple things and hard work matter. So I'm not bothered about expensive fucking shit and having the best car and this, that, and the other. Which is handy, because this industry it's not for the most affluent of people. But having said that, there's a lot of people that do very, very well in this industry because they love what they do, and that comes across really well. So going back to the point was, I wouldn't want to be in any other industry at all. You couldn't name me one that I'd prefer to be in than this one. This is it for me.
Yeah, you know, when you said that though, so you said that there's no other industry that could make you sort of, I don't know, that you could enjoy in the same way. Do you think that is that simply because you kind of doing what you love, you're seeing other people do what they love, and it's not just about going and getting paid when you go to work, you actually have an impact on other people's lives in a really positive way. So is it that sort of service element to it, you think, that sets it apart?
Funny you say the word service. Ego, whatever you want to call it. I never worked in a pub, in a restaurant, in anything like that. The idea of serving someone food to me is I was never going to serve people food or drink. There's probably some deep-seated psychological issue there. It might be the fact that I cannot stand noise. So I've got things called misophonia, where the smallest of irritant of noises just really gets to me. It's like a red flag. So being around people on purpose when they're eating and chewing and slurping fucking shaking shit and tapping their fingers and fucking glasses being tapped. Oh, mate, it irritates me. But it's not noises, because the gym is a fucking pretty loud environment. It's not noise, it's particular noise, and it's the intent behind the noise. It's the fact that it's just unnecessary. Someone drops a barbell, it's fine. If they drop an empty barbell, that annoys me, but it doesn't irritate me to the point like road rage. It's full-blown road rage. If people have you seen that shitty what's it called, ASMR or whatever it is, where these people are making these noises and people love it, mate? It is literally hell to me. It is death. I'd rather die than listen to it. But I don't know where the point was. Service industry, empty bar is not exactly Rebecca. But I hated homework at school. If I could have gone to school and I arrived at 9 o'clock and I left at fucking whatever time it was, and I went home and I was done, that would have been bearable. But the fact that I had to go home and then do more shit irritated me. It annoyed me that how dare you imprison me for fucking the best part of a day and then tell me I'm going home and doing more. No, thank you. Not for me. But like, so in this industry, serving, coaching specifically, although I do programming, as soon as that clock hits, I'm in front of a group of people doing what I love, talking about what I love, coaching what I love, seeing the results of the shit that I love, and just being in my element of people that love it as well. Because why else would they spend that amount of money to be there? And then the hour finishes, they're all sweaty, they say thanks, we write the board up, and I go home, and I'm done. That's the hour. I don't have to go and do homework. Like, and then the homework that I do have, I really love programming. It's beautiful when you programming. It's like creating a piece of art. And then the fucking industry conferences, rather than being in the corporate world where I'm having to go about learning about fucking how to talk to people or like all bullshit, I'm going to Coaches Congress where I'm surrounded by other people in the industry who fucking love it as much as I do, that are really keen and telling me shit that I want to know about and is going to make me better as a coach so that I can enjoy my work more. What could be better than that? So there's very, very, very few downsides to this industry, the way that I see it. But having said that, there's people out there that feel the same way as I do about this, about making pizzas or packing boxes or driving a ship or whatever it is. There's people out there that love their job. And for me, like being a parent, that's all I want for my kids. They could turn around. I'm looking at a pair of curtains. They could turn around and say, I want to be the curtain maker. I want to be the best curtain maker in the world. As long as they bloody love it, I couldn't give a shit. You've got a long time working, if you're lucky. And you best find something that you enjoy doing and that you love doing. Bringing it back to you. Do you love your job?
I love the job I'm creating for myself.
There you go.
And that's the difference, isn't it? So for me, the corporate world was a means to an end, still is. I never knew what I wanted to do as a kid. I weren't one of the, obviously, other than the ridiculous dreams that all kids have about being a footballer and all that, like it's just cliched, but I never knew what I wanted to do. And then that provided something that, don't get me wrong, I enjoy it to a point. I enjoy it's relationship building, my role in essence. And I love that. I love talking to people more so now than ever before, because I'm developing relationships with a wide range of people through fitness. But yeah, I was okay at it. So it just was a means to an end. But then when I started the Defiant Co., if you'd have told me that I'm going to end up becoming a printer and I'm going to be more passionate about that than anything ever before, I'd have thought you were a madman, because like it's the least sexy thing in the world, printing. But again, it's sort of derived. It's about the people you're with, isn't it? And the people you're working for or with or meeting, and they make it what it is. So for me, I feel like, some of the printers I deal with, they're fucking miserable. You can tell they hate it. They must wonder why I'm so buzzing about what I do, but it's because we're predominantly in the fitness space. So most of the conversations I have are with people that want to get better, want you to get better, want to help you, and then want to come and take the service from you. So I get all that. So then when we have the odd, something we'll print for anyone. So when a tradesman or something like that comes to us, we're not just dealing with that in isolation. We've got all the great people that we meet. And when I think about some of the people I've met along the way and that becoming good friends with, you just wouldn't never have met them. And that just makes me, but that's hard for me sometimes because, with the corporate role, that's so far apart that it makes me, not enjoy that in the same way as maybe I used to. And that's a challenge, but one that I'm definitely addressing. But when you say that about people loving their jobs, and you talked about a few jobs there, do you think, I don't know how to word it, but it's like someone can love their job without getting the same satisfaction that maybe you've just described? Because I can imagine somebody being a box maker or box packer, like you said, and loving that because that's just what they want to do. But they're not going to get the same from that as what you'll get from what you do, because of the feedback and the emotional connection you get with those people. So I think there is a difference between, anyone can love what they do, but can it develop the same purpose in it?
Well, intent is what are you trying to get out of your job? Is that the answer to that question? If someone making pizzas gets to watch other people enjoy what they've made, like you seeing people walking around with like you made this. This is you. I'm wearing like what you've made. Like you get to see that. That's pretty cool. People walking around showing off your hard work. Now, the way that a coach might look at it is when you've got clients that are walking around really healthy, playing with their kids, being able to live 10 years younger, they're walking around with my work. My work is what they've created for their body. My programming has done that. My coaching has done that. It's just words. That's all it is. It's just me in a room with them, and I'm able to do that. So the satisfaction of coaching is that. But again, even within our industry, the coach and the athlete, like you think of a professional CrossFitter, so someone that earns money, from doing CrossFit racing, they're in the same industry, but their satisfaction is them doing the movement. My satisfaction is getting someone to do the movement, which is where you hear this all the time, is like my father-in-law, he won the Commonwealth Games at weightlifting. Then he went on to coach, and he said he got far more satisfaction from coaching than he ever did competing. He genuinely meant that. And then seeing his daughter, my wife, compete at the Olympics, he said that was like light years away from how he felt when he competed on stage and won the Commonwealths. Like, there's this, why do people do charity work? It's not completely altruistic. You get a good feeling from helping other people. And the service industry, especially I'm very passionate about coaching, and I think what we do is immeasurable. Like, even I said to someone today, they were on the floor after the workout was, we did a bit of snatch work, then some explosive chest to bar work, and then we did a 10-minute AMRAP. There's devastation on the floor after the workout. They're all laying there. Music comes down. I say the usual thing. I say, I want 3 things from you. Firstly, I want your kit away. Secondly, I want a big smile. And thirdly, I want your scores to go on the whiteboard. Usually gets a little bit of a smile from someone. But didn't get anything. There was nothing. Everyone was like destroyed. So as they were getting up, I said a simple line. This is from an advert that I saw years fucking ago. And I wish, when you see something, you wish you screen grabbed it, or you fucking remembered who did it. It wasn't my idea. It was someone else. And I use it all the time. I said to them, that workout there has probably just kept you out of a care home for about 2 weeks when you're about 90 years old. So you've probably just saved yourself a couple of grand by doing that workout. Like, and when you relate it to people, and even if it's money, like you relate it back to money for people, it's like, ding, if it relates to that, they get value from it. They'll work hard next time, because they'll think, I'll tell you what, I am actually saving a lot of money here. If I go hard and if I work really hard for a week at the gym, I've probably stayed out of a care home for a month, like when I'm older, which is about 4 or 5 grand for my family to save. And this is all from an advert that I saw. It's beautifully put together. It's like just a simple maths equation of if you work hard and you save yourself 5 years out of a care home, this is how much money you save. Does that gym membership look expensive now to you? But again, like, there's so much to coaching. It's not just telling people and instructing them how to do an overhead squat. It's relatability. One is empathy, meeting people where they're at. I had a new guy start this week who can barely overhead squat. Am I going to get him to do snatch progressions tonight? Probably not. I got him to get a pipe, to move, to nail his mechanics. All I wanted him to do for the 15 minutes that everyone else was snatching is to try and nail an overhead squat with a pipe. That was it. And he was sweating. Like, he was sweating by the end of that 15 minutes, and he loved it, and he got a lot out of it. And it's gradually building long-term towards something that everyone else is doing. And that's what I love about coaching. I know where it's leading for that person. And I get excited about doing inductions for people, like ramp ups or foundations, whatever you want to call it, because I know what's coming down the road if they just stick with it. The gym's job is to retain people. That's all it is. The marketing gets them in the door. Your job as an affiliate owner is to retain those people. And you do that by entertaining them, coaching them properly, and getting them results. If you can do that, you're all good. You'll have a member for life. And our biggest sales and marketing tool is word of mouth to this day. And it forever will be. Because if you get one person that absolutely sees results and nails it completely, they will tell 10 other people. That whole thing of CrossFit early days, how do you know when you're meeting a CrossFitter? They'll tell you. Like, they will tell everyone. Yeah. That's how we get people into the gyms. It's word of mouth. How do we get people to spread word of mouth? We make it the best hour of their day, and we coach the shit out of them. And it's not technical coaching I'm talking about. It's making it the best hour of their day. Some people want to be coached really well and intimately and nailing it and form and technique and Mr. Boot camp. Other people just want a bit of empathy and want an ear to listen to what they're moaning about today. You've got to be a chameleon. You've got to know all your members like that, and you've got to be a touch base for people. It's not an easy job, but it's it's simple, but it's definitely not easy. Just like the program, just like doing CrossFit. Yeah. And that's what makes us relatable.
What do you think there? So, like you just talked about that guy that did just basically the 15 minutes of the workout with a pipe just to learn movements, help with his mobility, start to get a bit of muscle memory for him, I guess, and that kind of stuff. How do you approach that as a coach? Because that guy's obviously got, he's very comfortable with his own ego and stuff, because, a guy coming into a class where there's other people about, some guys are going to be like, oh, I don't need to do that. I need to lift what, and it's hard to know who that person is until they walk through the door, isn't it? So like, as a coach, how do you like approach that situation from the offset?
There's a few, like, again, like it's micro expressions. And you pick this up over years of doing it. It's all the micro things you pick up on, and you start to build this picture of people, like from the minute you meet them to when they start moving. And I know it sounds ridiculous. The car they pull up in, if they've got kids with them and they're rushing around sitting down, you obviously greet them, ask them how their day's going, the clothes they're wearing. If you get someone that comes in and they're covered in Calvin Klein kit, they're probably a certain persuasion with the training. If you get someone with a big baggy white t-shirt, some shorts and some just basic shoes, they probably haven't got as much ego's the word. We always used to have leave your ego at the door signs at all the gyms. I don't know if that's a thing anymore, but it was early days. It was leave your ego at the door. But then again, it's things like the warm-up will tell me everything I need to know about someone. That's why the warm-up's really fucking key for a coach. Rather than just telling people and then sipping on your coffee or talking to one particular person during the warm-up, your job as coach, when you've briefed properly, you've asked people about if they've got any injuries or limitations today, you've told them top line what the workout's going to be, so what movements there are going to be, not rep range, not everything like that, just what movements we're doing. Anyone got any injuries or limitations around those movements? If we haven't, that's fine. Right, this is the warm-up, brief them, get them moving, and then your job for that next 5 to 10 minutes is to watch, to assess, to study how people are moving, their eyes, whether they're huffing and puffing, whether they're fatigued, whether you think they need to focus on that. And in your head, you know what workout is coming up. So that guy in particular, I know he's new because I haven't seen him before. I asked him how his day was going. He said he's a bit tired because of work and blah, blah, blah. And then I watched him try and do some overhead squats with a pipe in the warm-up, which we only had like 5 reps. and his heels were coming up, his knees were valgus, they were coming in, his elbows were bending, and his pipe was coming over the front of him. There is not a chance in hell I'm giving him a barbell for the snatch or the overhead squats today. It's not going to happen. My job is to make him move better. How can I make him move better? Triage. It's just like when you go to hospital in A&E, which I've been about 20 times this year with my boy. It's what's the biggest thing we need to tackle first and foremost? And it's the basics. So I need him to squat well first. So for that 15 minutes, first of all, I'm getting him to do air squats. Then I'm adding in a pipe in a front rack position to see how he can squat with a front load. Then I'm getting him to do overhead, and I'm going through the progressions for 15 minutes. By the end of it, he did some overhead squats well, but hard with a pipe. Next time, hopefully he can retain all that knowledge and some of those progressions and tell the coach, whoever it might be, this is what I did last time. This is what I need to work on. Because at the end of the session, I told him, awesome job. They look really good. Your overhead squats are really going to come on. If we keep to these, stick to that for now. But remember, we want those heels down on the chest up. So he's taking that away. And it's a long-term thing. We're not flash in the pan. We're not 45-minute sweat sesh where people feel, yay, really good. And then they go home. It's like it's balancing that. There are days where we do that. We might have a 40-minute EMOM of calories and burpees and high rocks stuff and all whatever. But that's not to bash on high rocks, but it's not. What we do is so damn different. So different. Our gym has got now alternatives to the GPP or the CrossFit workouts. We've got high rocks alternatives for every single day of the week.
Okay. Is that within the same class where you'll say
we've got
if you're doing?
Yeah, we'll have 2 rooms. So we'll have a coach doing the high rocks and a coach doing the CrossFit side of things. And then we've got the jiu-jitsu going on in the corner. And then we've got the physio on. It's beautiful. Like being in that gym is amazing. Like the environment, the people, the smiles, the hard work, everything. It's just cool. Just a community of hard workers. Yeah. So as a coach, you'll be able to watch and be able to see, again, coming back to that word intent, like the intent of people coming to the gym. People coming to do the high rocks sessions. Half of them don't even know what high rocks is. They don't know it's an event. They don't know it's a company. They just think it's the name of the class that they come to where they're getting sweaty. They're doing intervals. They're doing rowing, skiing, running, bit of strength work. And, you know, the programming is good. It's much better than a lot of the high rocks programming I've seen out there. But still, I think what we have with CrossFit is optimal. I think it's optimal for human performance. I think it's optimal for longevity and health. I firmly believe that. So anything other than that for me looks alternative. It doesn't look what we've got. And I've come to terms with that because not everyone, like Jenna Hawker's put up a thing today and this week, and the CrossFit new ad campaigns and brand assets have gone live today for the affiliates. It always was for anyone, but not everyone. And we should have pride in that. It's offered to anyone can walk in our door. We're completely inclusive. No one is turned away based on anything. But yeah, it's not for everyone. Not everyone's going to want to do what we do. And that is okay. Just like we don't want to do other stuff.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because I agree with that. And I'm in that camp. But when I spoke to Nick yesterday, I know you were watching, and what Nick said was the space is changing and CrossFit need to evolve with it. And my pushback to Nick in the moment was, well, all of this other stuff is CrossFit. I think CrossFit need to double down on what they do, but get better at leveraging other areas of media or other events, other fitness style things. So how I feel like CrossFit will have lost. So, you know, it seems to have lost numbers, obviously, but the people that have remained are the people that arguably believe in it more than anyone. So that means it's in a good position to grow from there again. But when there are so many other things now that they probably weren't when CrossFit exploded, it makes it much more difficult, doesn't it? So like, because CrossFit created all these spin-offs, They weren't there in the days when CrossFit were picking up all these people and introducing them to functional fitness and doing all that kind of stuff. So how do they balance that? How do you think we kind of balance that in a world where there are much more options and many more choices and shit like that? Savon won't like that, mate.
Don't care. I have a Coke Zero every day.
Mate, I'm a Pepsi Max man. I can't say nothing.
I love it. I just love the stuff. There's a lot worse things for me than that. Coca-Cola, I know they're not a great example of a brand that we want to talk about, but how many types of cola are there now? 100 years ago, there was one. They set the standard. They set the scene. They introduced a brand new market that wasn't there before. Everyone knows the name. It's synonymous with cola. People walk into a pub or whatever restaurant, I'll have a Coke or a Diet Coke. Very, very, very few people walk into a pub and go, can I have a Pepsi or whatever. I used to work for Coca-Cola for 4 years and years ago. So I'm fully briefed on the history of John Pemberton and as a tonic and cocaine and the cola bean and all that crap. But my point being, Coke are doing pretty well now. They're still doing pretty well. Although there are hundreds, if not thousands, of alternative colas out there that are trying to do something that Coke did 150 years ago. All Coke have needed to do was keep to what they were doing, sell the product, and their adaptation is around not the product. They've added other products. They've added alternatives like Coke Zero and Diet Coke over the last 30 years, 40 years. But the original product, Coca-Cola, has not changed, albeit without the fucking cocaine in it. You'd hope. But it's still there. What CrossFit need to do is exactly the same thing. Keep up. When we say keep up and evolve with the market, it doesn't mean change what we do. It's how we advertise and how we market what we do. That's the change that needs to happen. It's not that. It's not what the product is. We don't change the product. The product is good. It's good enough. It's what we've done, and it doesn't need to change ever. It stays as it is. Now, what we can do is incremental, and it's who can we get in the gym to use the tool. We need to grow the market that are coming into the gym. We started off with the fire breathers. Early days, it was the people that just wanted to do the sport. It was the ex-army, it's the vets, it's people like that. We've opened the doors to more people off the high street. I include myself in that in 2011 when I found it, and onward from there. I think that the last 5 years, we've had a lot of people joining CrossFit, jumping on the success of what it did early days that you just alluded to, that all of the hard work and the fire breathers put into evolving what we did and making it great. And they've jumped in with their idea of what CrossFit should be and the conditions of a gym. My argument would be, go back to it's for anyone, but not everyone. If you go to a CrossFit gym and it's not sweaty enough and there's not enough cardio for you, then you go to a different gym. CrossFit doesn't bend or change for you. It stays because we know and we trust. Now, the affiliate owners that do that, that's on them. And I think they're the ones last year that decided to jump ship. They're the ones that weren't keeping to the original message of CrossFit and the methodology. They're the ones that either got bored or fatigued or they didn't compete anymore. So all of a sudden, the threshold for what CrossFit is has changed and they don't adapt or like it. They've had to go back to basics. Their community get given a message and they follow because they've put so much trust in the affiliate owners and the gym owners that they will do whatever the affiliate owner says and communicates. They will follow because of that trust that's been developed. Because they're the people that have given them the results. So of course you'll trust them. If the affiliate owner that's made you lose £100 now says, by the way, guys, we're not doing CrossFit anymore. We're doing this really cool thing that we believe in and we trust in. You're going to go, some of you might go, oh, that's a shame, but we trust you. We'll move on with you. And then you lose no members, and then you gain a few new members because of this new thing, initially anyway. And then you go, see, it worked. Proof's in the pudding. We don't need CrossFit anymore. Give it a year. When the other people go to other gyms and find out that CrossFit's still going strong, other people are getting PRs on lifts. They're getting better at handstand work. They're getting faster for 2K row times. And yet you're stuck doing 1K laps with a few wall balls at the end of it. It's tricky because it's delayed onset. It's the initial year. It might have seems like the best thing to do for a lot of people, but give it a year. And I can't help but think, I really do. I strongly believe there's going to be a rebound with affiliates this year. I think a lot of people, the Open, I've got a massive feeling that this Open 26 is going to be awesome. It's going to be huge. It's going to be a hark back to a decade ago. We're going to love it. Hello, Garrett.
I agree with that as well. And one of the things we'll come on to in shortly, because we're talking about the games, is when I think we talked about it before. You made the point that people buy into stories, and now there are stories everywhere in the athlete field, you know, because all the whiny fuckers have gone, and the ones that have remained are the ones that have got good stories to tell, and they're the ones that are relatable to the affiliates, you know, like, and there's quite a few that I know that Dave spoke to that actually coach classes and stuff, you know, so they're relatable. But then also, like, you look at, you know, like Dallin, Jason and James Sprague, they're like very visible online. They talk real about it. They talk about the positive impact it's had. Tia's come out and seemed to be supporting it a lot more now, doesn't she? She's thanking Dave. Then you look at Lucy Campbell and her journey. There are stories everywhere. So I agree with that. I think the Open next year, all those people are going to get behind it. They're going to double down. And I feel like it could be awesome again. And that's exciting for it.
And that's at the tip of the spear level. They're the people that are putting that out. And I was guilty of thinking it's nothing to do with them. They're going to do it anyway. They don't evolve at the affiliate level, blah, 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 blah. But my position on that's changed somewhat in the last 6 months. I think a lot of the lack of Open signups this year, there's a few reasons for it. It's multifaceted, but I think a lot of it was the negativity and the uncertainty coming from the games athletes not signing up. I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if it's the right thing this year, blah, 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 blah. It then puts the seed in people's heads of, well, why am I doing it? And then you got, on top of that, you got the affiliate owners that are pumping, oh, there's no point, you know, it's boring or it's not good anymore, and CrossFit's not what it used to be, blah, 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 blah. And again, the people trust their affiliate owners. Whereas fucking Jamie up at Method, how many did he have? Like 320?
Yeah.
Like
about 95% of his member base or something like, crazy.
The second in the world after that one in Portugal, whatever it was. Like over 300 members signed up for the affiliate. Now you can guarantee that came from him.
Yeah.
If he was anti-Open, anti-CrossFit, whatever, he wouldn't have had anyone signing up. Of course he wouldn't. It all comes from that tier of people, the affiliate owners and the head coaches. If they're passionate about it, and they're the ones that need a bit of tickling, bit of attention, and a bit of that. And I think the games athletes doing their part is one piece of the puzzle. They're doing what they can. Our own Lucy, obviously Campbell, is a level 2. She coaches at Nottingham, and you know she's a really cool woman. Kringle from the Isle of Man. She is a qualified nurse before she took up CrossFit full-time a few years ago. So she's clearly a very empathetic, caring person that was going to go into a profession where she looks after people. She cares. And all of the people like Fisa Garfi, like, fuck me. Like, she's almost annoyingly kind. Like, we've got this array of people in the sport, and that's just the sport. The people that don't really do anything at the affiliate level. And then you've got that giant tier of people that sit at every single CrossFit gym that effectively sell the open.
Yeah.
They're the influencers. I don't. The games athletes probably influence about, I don't know, 5 to 10% of open signups, probably maximum. The affiliate owners and the head coaches, they probably influence about the remaining 80, 85% of people. And then you've got the 5 to 10% that do it on their own or in their own gyms. The people, if CrossFit want to get people to sign up for the open, which I stand by this, the open is the biggest retention tool that we have as CrossFit gyms. It is the way that you keep people engaged. You year round, you give them goals to go towards the open. Your programming can work around it. It's community. It's all the boxes ticked. It's the chance for a level pegging. And what other sport on earth do you, Steve, get to have level footing and potentially qualify for the CrossFit Games? Like the top. Like, can you right now go out and get to the Champions League final?
Yeah.
You can't. The open is the only way of doing that in any physical activity that I know of, where you start on the same footing as all of the tip of the spear athletes. And within that 9-month period, you can be going to the end result, the tip of the spear thing. Where else do you get that? You get to do the same 3 workouts as every other CrossFitter on earth over the same weekends. It's amazing. And it's a retention tool for gyms. And it's a shame if they don't use that. And CrossFit themselves are starting to, like the campaign today and the assets that have gone out, that is the start of things to come. We're going to see a big draw back to CrossFit. And I think all they need to do, the finishing touch on this, would be to reach out to the affiliates that left and say, we want you back. What do we need to do to get you back? Is it listen? Is it because we won't negate on cost? We know it's worth what it is. All you need is 3 members to sign up for a year, and you've got that back. We can help you get those 3 members easily. Easily worth it.
Like, I think what CrossFit need to do, especially, I can only speak for the UK, but is invest in more people that are going to get out to affiliates and speak to affiliates and see affiliates, because I'm on, we've finished the first season of the affiliate series now. Obviously, you've been close to it and looked at it. The resounding sort of message that comes back to me when I ask them, what do CrossFit do for you, is absolutely nothing. One guy said that, and I know there are resources there, and well, Jamie didn't say that because, but everyone else is kind of had a similar message. And I think the thing is, even if the resources are there that can help, if those people that I've spoke to are all saying the same thing, then that's not working. Like one guy I spoke to that's de-affiliating, he said that he's doing it from a cost point of view. He's in a smallish town, so having CrossFit on his name isn't as beneficial as having a bigger space to get more members in. And then he's going to look at re-affiliating further down the line when he can afford it again, once he's transitioned and got more members. So he has a plan. But he said to me the only time CrossFit had spoke to him in 4 years of his affiliation was when he said he was de-affiliating. And that's poor. And, I know there might be plans to try and do more, but I don't know what that more looks like. Because when I've had this conversation with everyone, like the guy I was with on Saturday, 10-year affiliate, level 3, hears nothing from anyone, and he's your bread and butter. He's he's exactly what you want. My question, and look to it, for the last decade, I've agreed with you. Totally agreed with you. Right, as an affiliate owner, as I had 2 at once at the same time, there was frustrations there. But I've taken a few years away from that. And my question to people citing that as the reason to de-affiliate is, and I asked myself this question as well from 5 years ago, what do you want them to do? Like, what is it? It's the same question to me as the games athlete saying, we need change.
It's like, okay, what are your legitimate black and white changes that you need to see, coherent changes, rather than just say we need change? When you say we want more contact, we want more help from HQ, what exactly is it that you feel like they can give you that they're not giving you right now? What is it? What coherent ABC, black and white, in writing, what is it that you need from them? And most of the time people go, oh, it would just be nice to be able to talk to someone. Cool. Okay. Talk to them about what? Because their emails are all available online. The contact points are all there. If there's something particular that you need to talk about or want to address, you can message them. You have been able to at any time. And Andy or Gareth or whoever will come and visit you and will do a drop in and talk to you about all this or speak to you. I get it. I felt exactly the same, and I'm a really big advocate of the idea of that we need regionalization rather than having an HQ somewhere in the middle of fuck knows where in the US, like Columbus somewhere. Rather than having that, what other global fucking company has one little office with 40 people in it looking after the entire fucking thing?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't compute to me. You're better off having a regional, like a European hub, whether it's in Berlin or wherever you want it. The European people fall under that. That is their point of contact. And again, this is all stuff that I've been saying for fucking forever. Like when I was an affiliate owner, when I first took on the affiliation in like 14, I was like, what is that? Like, where's the HQ? Coming from Coca-Cola a few years before that, where we had fucking European offices, UK offices, England offices, and then regional offices within England. There's like 5 tiers within Europe for contact point, for marketing teams, for sales development teams, everything. And if for me, if CrossFit want to be taken seriously as an LLC, as a global, truly global company to raise its stock, it needs to become truly global. And I'm not talking sport. The sport stays as it is. But from a methodology, from an HQ perspective, looking after affiliates, I think we just need a bit of more development at the regional level, rather than I want people to talk to me. That's not really an answer. I don't see that as a coherent answer.
It isn't, and I get that. And there was only one that's de-affiliating. He wasn't citing that as the reason for de-affiliating, but it kind of just rung true with me when he said that. And none of them was sort of saying CrossFit. Like some of them, like one guy at CrossFit Comet, he was saying he's so loyal to CrossFit that he doesn't care if he's going to he'll take the name to his deathbed because he's just loyal. Yeah. But all of them said the same thing, as we hear nothing from CrossFit. And whether that's anecdotal, whether they're not given a clear description of what they do want from CrossFit, the fact that everyone I spoke to kind of feels the same says there is something missing. And maybe that is that regional thing that you talk about there, when there is someone and we say, right, this is your region. You split you could split England into like 4 quarters and say, you've got a northwest, a northeast, blah, blah, blah. This is your guy. Any queries, just go to him. And then that maybe alleviates it, even just by them having that sort of person that they know they can contact. Because, it's all right saying CrossFit's email is always on, but that doesn't make you feel part of something. And if you're paying to be a part of something, some people will, eventually that loyalty will wane.
So there is a country manager. So we've got Ollie Mainsbridge, who's obviously European. We've got Andy, who's country manager, and we've got Gareth, who's doing a fucking blinding job of being with him under his wing. We've got a country manager that people can email and talk to and arrange visits with. We've got that person there. We've got a system in place. Maybe what we need to do is get better at communicating that we have that. How many affiliates know who the country manager is and have talked to one of the teams? How many people, and this was a big thing for me, how many people of those affiliates, how often do they travel to competitions? How often do they show up at events? How often do they go to Coaches Congress? How often are they meeting halfway to go and actually network with people that include the CrossFit HQ staff and the seminar staff? Are they reluctant for whatever reason? Do they feel like CrossFit should come to them? The second answer to that is Have you ever dealt with anyone at F45?
No.
Do you have any knowledge about that? Right. So I've
never even been in a gym, mate.
No. So one of my good friends set one up, a studio in my old town, and I helped him set it up. They pay $3,000 a month in royalty fees to be an F45 gym. $3,000 a month, 36 grand a year to be an F45 gym. The initial investment to be able to even qualify to become an F45 gym was 500 grand. You then have to buy all the kit in a kit pack that costs 75 grand from F45. You then have to buy all the uniform. You have to send them on the exact F45 coaching things, classes. You have to get all the tellies yourself for the walls. They have to be inch perfect from the floor, measured up. Everything is to perfection. And for all of that, you get a contact name and an email address that you are in contact with monthly to talk to. You have a monthly meeting with your representative. Now, if CrossFitters owners, if affiliate owners want that level of contact, we have to be serious about the amount of money we're going to have to spend on affiliation. Compare it to F45 or Barry's Bootcamp or Orange Theory or any of those ones where you get fluid contact with a representative. You are paying a lot of money for that because of the infrastructure that goes with it. Now, are CrossFit affiliates willing to spend double, 9 grand a year? Are they willing to spend 9 grand a year to facilitate that extra infrastructure? Is it worth that for them? Probably not. Probably just to have the balls tickled a little bit and to make them feel really good for a little while every month. Again, I say this as someone that was sat there saying this exact same. I used to get my Christmas card in February from CrossFit. And it used to do my head in every year because of the delay. It was sent from fucking California or wherever the office was at that point. It would take 2 months for me to get my Christmas card after Christmas. It's nearly my birthday every time when we used to get it. It was nearly open. I used to get a Christmas card. I just think, what a joke. Like we're an afterthought. And I think some of it is this legacy effect of the last 10 years of us saying this kind of stuff. It's when you feel like it and you reiterate it to yourself so much, you start to believe it. You start to think this kind of stuff. Whereas I think of a lot of people, take Jamie, his attitude towards it. You can have a more positive attitude towards things and just say, do you know what? I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to hit the nail on the head. I don't need CrossFit for the inner workings of my gym. I know where they're at. If I want to email them, I know I can contact them. I think, just like I said, CrossFit needs to see the tier of people and address them and the affiliate owners and the coaches. I think it needs to work the other way as well. The coaches and the affiliate owners need to make sure they're meeting CrossFit the other half of the way. It can't all be CrossFit that are doing everything for them.
Yeah.
It all needs to be like it was before. And herein lies the problem. It's not truly global yet. It's not a global company yet. We've got affiliates around the world, but it's not a global company yet. Nowhere near. It's nowhere near a global company. We've got regional country managers and we've got regional managers that help towards the running of them. And the employees that they have doing that and the seminar staff, they are fucking saints. They're the people that need to stay in that role and get paid more, a lot more for what they do and given more freedom to do what they want to do rather than being handcuffed to the role that they're told to do. That's where the progress will be made. That ticks all the boxes. But in order to do that, money. Need more money. How do they get that? The only revenue streams we've got as CrossFit HQ, I'm not saying we, the open and affiliate fees. And that's where the revenue comes from. Or CrossFit start to dictate what we sell at the gyms and they get a royalty out of it. But we don't want that. We want freedom. We want the freedom to do it what we want. So it's not very black or white, this big issue. And I think everyone just needs to meet the other party halfway. Everyone, not one party, everyone need to meet more in the middle. And I'll tell you where you do that, bringing it back to your original thought and why you wanted me on here, the games. Going to the games.
Yeah.
How many people did you meet that were passionate about CrossFit, and what everyone there is there for CrossFit, aren't they?
Yeah, 100%, mate. And that was the thing that, I don't know, I went on my own, and I was never on my own. You know what I mean? That was the sort of, if you wanted to be, obviously you could be, but anywhere you went, like even the bars after, you could spot the CrossFitters a mile off. Everyone were willing to talk, chat, enjoy it, and it felt like everyone were there for the same reason. Like it was just, I don't know, it had just such a good vibe. And I know people want to like look at the empty seats that we're knocking about and say it weren't full, but I tell you what, I'd give half a stadium full of the people that were there for half of the, you know, for a full one of people that weren't. Like, and that's what it just felt different. I don't know, it felt good. And I don't know if it was on Savannah or one of the podcasts, they were saying that everyone that was there just really wanted to be there. Even the athletes, you know, with the probably exception of one or two that spat the dummy out because they weren't as good as they wanted to be. It was like even the athletes wanted to be there, and it was just, it was such a good vibe, mate. But what was it like from your point of view watching on? Did you get that sort of vibe and feeling from it, like by watching it from afar?
Well, I'm glad Garrett's in the chat, because for me,
we need to address that question in a bit, actually. But
so I've watched the games since 2012. That was my first year that I watched the games. So I've watched it every year since then. I've done the Open every year since 2013. The viewership, so being able to watch it, it hasn't felt like it did this year for a long time. So it felt more like it used to, probably up till 17, 18, when the media sort of changed. And I said to Garrett the other day, for me, if Savon's channel wasn't there, if Garrett, specifically Garrett, wasn't there commentating before and after each of the events, it wouldn't have felt that way. But it did, because of that third-party channel that was there streaming, talking about the workouts, building the hype before it. Now, you'll know on YouTube, it's the first couple of heats are quiet, dead, no commentary. You'll be able to hear someone on the mic in the background, but not really loudly. And you'll be thinking, who the fuck's this? And then the last heat comes on, and it'll be, welcome to the CrossFit Games 2025. We're here in heat 3 of da-da-da-da-da. And it's like one heat. And there's nothing to build up towards that heat. There's no commentary. There's no perspectives. There's no questioning. There's no introspection. There's no relatability. It's nothing. It's bland and it's corporate. It has been for the last few years. This year, we had a third party that were preempting everything, and Garrett's role was us. She served as, I don't know, did you used to watch The Office?
Yeah.
So she was Tim, right? She was us in the thing, asking the questions that we wanted to ask, that had she not been there, it wouldn't have answered our questions that we want. He was us there. And to have that person there that isn't dissecting each of the movement quality and analyzing the rep per seconds and the meters per second and the fucking, we're just fans of people moving and getting sweaty, basically, and lifting heavy stuff, right? And that's what we want to see. And we want hype, and we want questions about stuff that we want to know. And the channel, that I know that I'm part of it, and I know the very small part of it, and I know there's a bias there, but genuinely, it made it what it was. Like, and having Chase and Adrian and Mike Arsenault and all the other guys that were doing the teams and stuff, they do a job. They do the clean, polished heat, last heat, telling us how it is, and bigging up them and saying, and this is. But I want them to ask what kind of pants they're wearing, like just real shit, like we would ask, and that might just be a me thing, but probably. Like it's relatable media. That's what was missing over the last few years. The games hasn't changed. It's still 20 to 30-year-olds that are in insane shape doing stuff we can only dream of doing that look really cool, really sexy, and we get to watch them for a week or a weekend or 3 days. It hasn't changed. What has changed this year is the extra bits, the commentary, the questioning, the analysis was cool. It was fun. It was different. It was alternative. Do you remember, what was it called? Fan Zone on Sky Sports, the red button.
Quality,
and you had the fans commentating. Mate, how good would that be for CrossFit? Like, fans just narrating, completely biased. Completely like saying, no, Ricky, fuck, I don't want you to win. Hold back, drop the bar, put it down, put it down. I want Jason to win. Like, how cool would that be? You'd have so many views doing something like that because it's different, it's engaging, it's fun, rather than that clean, polished shit that does serve a role and is important. But for the majority of CrossFitters, we're alternative. We want that raw approach to shit. And that's where that channel and that commentary came in, and that's what I loved about it. So yeah, from an at home thing, it was brilliant this year. We couldn't tell what it was like in the stadium. Really, we could tell it was loud. We could tell that they were doing well and people were cheering. But that's not what that's not what sold it to me. It was the media.
And I was consuming probably as much of that as anyone. So as soon as the event's finished, I was equally as excited to get on YouTube from the stadium on the Wi-Fi and listen to what like Garrett, John, and JR had to say about it, because they were like, right, I've just watched that. Now let's listen to an actual take that understands it and can analyze it further. And it was, I was literally, mate, as soon as the event finished, I was straight on, and you could see other people around doing it as well, and that were cool. And it was like, it was loud as well. Again, I don't know if it's because of that, because there were times when it was like the stadium was full, the amount of noise people were making, you know, specifically with Jason when he dropped that bar, and Lucy when she stuck it to tear. It was insane. And that for me, like you say, that media team, they talk in a way that is so relatable. Like you say, they ask the questions. I can't wait for the behind the scenes, because they were saying how much, you know, like Taylor, he was barely seen, where he, after he'd recovered from shirts, and like because he was just down in the cave, like just asking, you know, he's asking them questions that people won't ask, and that's what you want, and that's why that channel and you guys do so well, because you are real and you're relatable, and you're not just trying to follow the next trend. You're asking the difficult questions, but not because you're trying to be difficult, because sometimes they're the questions we all want to hear the answer to, not because you're not asking them to be difficult for difficult's sake. And that's
exactly.
I love that.
And you know, I don't profess to I'm not the biggest fan of the sport. Like, I'm not a John Young. I'm not someone that knows like the capacities of each of the individuals, or what year they went, or what score they got on that, or whatever. Like, I can tell you what progressions I gave to a member in 2015 for pull-ups that had a bad shoulder. I like, that's my jam. That is what I enjoy about CrossFit. But it doesn't mean I can't enjoy the sport and fitness, because it's the hyper version. It's like watching the Lamborghinis racing. But my passion is to. I went stock car racing yesterday, watching it, didn't do it. Fuck me, so much fun. Like, I'd rather watch stock cars and demolition derby and monster trucks than like F1. Although I do love F1, it's a bad analogy, but you know what I mean. Like, there's something relatable to people that are more like me that I love getting the best out of. Like, I probably couldn't get the best out of a games athlete. I've got no idea how to string the difference between 15 and 16 ring muscle ups. Like, that's not me. I don't know that shit. But I love watching it. It's cool. It's quick. It's fast. But it's the circus. It comes to town. I watch it. I watch the strong man, and I watch the circus flipping like a trapeze artist, the lion being tamed by a chair. It's awesome. It's cool. But it's there for a weekend every year. The other 3 or 4 days of the year. It's not in town. You got to focus on reality. And for me, that's what CrossFit is. It's just cool that we've got an event at the end of it. It's cool that we've got that. It's really cool. And it's unique. It's what F45 haven't got. It's what all the other gyms haven't got, which is, again, why we need to big up the games and the open, because it's our unique selling point. And guess what? If you're not an affiliate, you don't get to be part of our shit.
Another thing, mate, like further adding to the sort of camaraderie and the feel there, like Fronin was like just outside at his, well, you saw the fit photo I had with him. He was just out there like at the Mayhem stall, just for like ages, massive queue, and he'd got time for you, he weren't rushing, he wanted to speak to you, and he was thanking people as well. He was like, "No, thanks for being here, like, where have you come?" You know, and it was just like that kind of vibe. That was just the icing on the cake, you know, for like someone like that you kind of see everything he does seems to be geared towards supporting the community. But then to see it firsthand in reality of him actually doing that, because everyone wants to meet Rich, you know. And he even said to me, like, because he mumbled his words, and I said he just bored of saying the same thing over and over again. He goes, "Yeah, it gets a little repetitive," and it was quite funny because, like, but he was still there doing it, and it was just, I love that.
But we talked about it earlier. You're on the same level as the games athletes during the Open. You're doing the same shit that they are. That should be a reminder to everyone at the affiliates that we're just people. They're just really, really good at the thing that we do. That's their special. They're the superhumans. They're not politicians. They're not artists. They're not fucking mechanics. Well, they might be. But the reason we respect them and we idolize them is because we do the same as them, but they do it a hell of a lot better. And when we meet them, it's a reminder that they're just normal people that just do exercise faster than we do. And they're the heroes and the heroines of us. And it's especially apparent when you meet them, because you remember that they are just humans and they're really fucking good at that thing. Now, bringing me to my point of, I want affiliate owners to ask themselves, how many thefts have they had at their gym? Inside the affiliate walls, how many thefts have they had? In my experience, it's a big fat zero. Big fat zero. And there's a reason for that, is because everyone that comes in that gym knows they have to work hard for what they want. And people that work hard for what they want do not thieve. They're not thieves. They don't steal from other people because they know it's about work ethic and hard work. That's also why when you get people that are old school, like seminar staff, like Fronin, like Spieler, like Kalipa, we intrinsically know that they work fucking hard for what they get. They work hard for what they get. So if you get an ex-games athlete that's made something of themselves and they're thriving, you know they've done that through hard work, only hard work. We know that. And it feeds into what Garrett's asked about earlier about CrossFit is the Cure initiative, the new branding assets that they've put out today, and about fuck the easy option. You know, the hard work is where we're at. CrossFit is the cure. That's our unique selling point. We're unashamedly saying that. We work hard for what we get. We know the answer is hard fucking work. And not everyone starts at the same point. People that have been through traumatic experiences, that are morbidly obese, that have got one arm, or they're in a wheelchair, or whatever it might be, or are 80 years old. You might not have the same starting point in all of it. But CrossFit can be the way that you move forward. And all that we ask is hard work. All we ask is hard work, and we can get you to where you want to be. And we shouldn't be ashamed of that. The Forge and Elite Fitness thing, we should be proud of that shit. And we've shied away from it for the last however long. But we're clawing that back, and that's going to become our identity. And that is how we separate ourselves from the other people. It's as simple as that. They're scared to wear that badge, and we want to wear that badge with honor because we know what it means, and we know what that word means, CrossFit. And if you've de-affiliated and you don't want to use that word, you're missing out. You're missing out on being able to be behind that name and that badge that says we all work hard. Like if you go to another gym, John's gym, where does it say we all work hard behind that? CrossFit says we all work hard here. We work for what we get. That's what it stands for. And that's what you pay for. You pay to be able to use that name and have that identity.
Yeah. It's, just circling back to something you said about theft and how many affiliate owners. Like, I think about all the times I've left my stall set up in a gym overnight. Not once have I ever had the thought of, oh, that might not be safe because of that. You just know. And I remember, because me and my dad started the business, as we've talked about, I remember he was helping me set up somewhere once because it was quite local to where we were. And he goes, oh, is this going to be all right? Because he was a mechanic, engineer, sorry. God, I'll get in trouble for calling him a mechanic. And, it was all like everyone trying to rip each other off and get the cheapest deal on this, that, and the other. So he came from a world where you didn't leave anything unattended and he couldn't get his head around it. But funnily enough, the only time I've ever had anything stolen from my store was when I went to an event in Liverpool, saying nothing about Liverpool, but it was like a fitness expo. Right. So I'd left it there just as I would normally. And then the next day I came, I noticed two things off the front, 2 pairs of shorts had gone. But it weren't CrossFitters. It wasn't our normal crowd. And I got that used to setting the stall up and leaving it. And that was, so it's quite interesting that you pointed that out because it couldn't be more true. And you do, don't you? When you, like now I've got a thing like, and I've developed it by becoming more CrossFit oriented, you could say. If I walk past and I see rubbish on the floor, it's not mine. I pick it up and put it in bin. It's like, I would never have done that before I started doing this. And it's that, isn't it? It's making everyone better in different ways. And that's just, that's actually just a work ethic, isn't it? Seeing that and putting it away, that's just all comes down to what your work ethic is.
It's anti-procrastination. You're coaching yourself to do the work now. Don't put it off. Don't delay the work because it will come and bite you in the arse. Do it now. The Nike slogan has made more sense to me in the last 5 years than it ever did in the previous 35. Just do it. It's not, yay, just do it. It's just do it. It's fucking just do it. Like, get on with the crap. Get it done. Don't put it off. It's not worth putting it off. Putting it off is going to double the amount of workload you get. Just fucking do it. And it's one thing that I'm really keen with my kids on doing. Like if we're walking along and there's a crisp packet on the floor, pick that up, put it in the bin. It's not mine. Don't care. Pick it up. Why? Well, because it needs picking up, doesn't it? Does it need picking up? Yeah. Well, do it then. Okay. And it's this constant, like something as simple as picking that up. It trains us to just do the fucking job. When you're staring in the middle of a 20-minute shitty open workout and those dumbbells aren't going to pick themselves up, you have to submit to the hard work and go, all right, I'm going to pick them up. And you go over and you pick them up and you just do it. And every time we go to the gym, we are drilling that, constantly reiterating it. Just do it. Get on with it. And it's amazing how many times you ask an affiliate member if they've been coming to CrossFit for the last 2 years, they've either progressed in their relationship, their personal relationships, or they've had a promotion at work. Because you get more assertive, you understand about intent, you work hard for shit and you don't put it off and you go for shit. How many people have gone, do you know what? I'm going to apply for that new job, or I'm going to apply for my promotion, or I'm going to tell my manager that I need to be respected more, or I'm going to talk to my partner. I'd imagine a lot of people get divorced when they first start doing CrossFit on their own because they go, I deserve better than this shit. I'm working hard. And they talk to their partner and their partner's like, moo, and they don't want to listen. And it's like, do you know what? I've put all my effort in. I'm going to keep trying. But people realize that they deserve better because they're working hard for what they want. At times, life's way too short. Life's way too short. Me and you are halfway, right? Maybe, hopefully not, but let's say halfway, right? And it's only going to get quicker.
Yeah.
So My theory on that, I said this the other day, is when you are fucking knee deep in a shit workout, wake up and enjoy that, because time slows down and you're like, oh, here we go. It's like I get to experience more life here because I'm feeling really crappy right now and I'm really in a lot of discomfort, but time stands still. It's like a bubble. I'm like, ooh, I get to live for longer.
I did it yesterday, mate. I did a workout yesterday, which I should have liked, and time cap was 32 minutes, and I had a shitter in the middle of it. I had a right nightmare with it in the middle. And I got the coach to just extend the time cap because it was the last class so I could finish it, because I'd slowed down to the point where I was probably getting no adaptation from it anyway. But I was I just mentally needed to still finish it. But something you said then about like hard work and sort of us not settling because of what it teaches us, that really resonates with me as well, because like I've been single for probably getting on for 2 years now since I broke up with my ex. And I've like started to dip my toe into like, online dating and all that kind of stuff, just to, I don't know, because you feel like you should. And that's one of the things that I've found is, I don't know if it's because I'm in a small town, is no one seems to have that work ethic that I speak to. They don't get it. Or the messages they'll send on the app are like, just, hey, how are you? I'm like, oh, that's it. That's all you've got to say. And it kind of, in the initial stages when I got on the app, it made me feel like I never feel lonely as such, but it made me feel like that because it was like, God, there's no one that's relatable. But then after a while, that became a badge of honor. And it went from making you feel lonely to making you feel, well, actually, I'm glad there's no one. I'm glad there's no one that I'm settling with, because there's obviously someone that'll come along at some point. I'm not desperate, but it's made me value the fact that I need someone that works as hard or has that work ethic and wants to succeed. And I don't care what that looks like. It's just about those things. And when you talk about people that start in the gym, I think I heard Greg say it on a podcast, you're either going to get your relationship's either going to get really good or it's going to end. There's no in between. You're not going to exist anymore. You just don't.
Well, it's threshold training, right? So our threshold for hard work grows. And we know it's physical adaptation, right? So you think about something as simple as a deadlift, right? When you first walk in a gym, let's say you can lift 100 kilos, 110's way out of the way. Over time, over real hard work, understanding it and pushing, you can then get to 150 kilos, right? The idea of lifting 100 kilos now as a 1RM, it'll be beneath you. Like you do it for reps, right? Hard work and ethos and work ethic are exactly the same thing. We build a threshold for what we expect of ourselves. If you are meeting someone and your threshold for hard work is up here, and you meet someone and they start talking to you and they moan, you know straight away that their work ethic, their level, their capacity for their threshold for hard work is down here. And there's nothing turns me off more than someone moaning or saying, oh. So I went to the fucking petrol station yesterday. First thing I did when I walk in, hi, darling, how are you? Like, yeah. I was like, what's up? I'm 40 now, so I'll just give some back. And she went, there's a heat wave coming. I was like, yeah, I can't wait. She's like, oh, it's going to be really hot. I was like, yeah, that's how heat waves work. She's like, oh, it's just going to be so hot. I'm like, we'll go to the beach. You live 5 minutes from the beach. Go to the beach. Oh, but I can't swim. I'm like, you don't have to swim. I was like, have a cold shower. Like, what are you moaning for? Like, enjoy it. And it's this language piece that people have. I don't know if it's just a British thing. People go straight to misery. How can I moan at you to make you know that I'm down here today? That whenever anyone else says, how you doing? I'm like, I'm brilliant, or I'm magnificent, or fantastic. Thanks for asking. And they always go, huh? Like, what? But even if I'm feeling my worst I've ever felt, I say it and they go, huh? And it genuinely makes me laugh when people go like, oh, well, you know. And the thing is preempting it as well. If they ask first and say, yeah, I'm amazing, they can't then moan. If you go, yeah, it's amazing, they'll go, oh, why? And you go, oh, just life, and it's fantastic. I'm loving it. It's raining, but it gives the plants and the trees are going to grow a bit more. So, in the summer we'll go for They go, and they can't moan. It's brilliant. It's like a foolproof loophole that it stops people from moaning. Get in there first and be positive. And again, going back to dating, there's a girl at the gym a couple of years ago that I spoke to. She was on the dating scene, and the threshold for her was like, she's a very good CrossFitter. The threshold's up here for hard work. It's right up here. And then she goes on dates with blokes and they're like, oh, well, you know, or moaning about this or sure. Yeah, listen. Yeah, sales. It's like, no, thank you. Her threshold. And it's almost as if the only people that we're being narrowed down to finding attractive are fucking other CrossFitters. They're the only ones that we know work to the same degree we do.
I've had it, mate, when I've said, when they've like, what you've been up to? But I've been working, I've been doing this, that, and they're like, oh yeah, you're really busy. I bet that's hard. I'm like, oh, we're gonna end this conversation right now. I am busy by design because that is what I want to do. I want to work. And you know, funny what you're saying there about when someone asks how you are. The standard British response to that is not bad, and that's a positive response, isn't it? And that says it all. When you put the only positive you can say is you're not bad. You're fucked, aren't you? I try and stop myself saying that because that's habit, and I've tried to make a conscious effort to try and not say that, like when someone asks me, just for that reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, mate. I think we've done it. We did talk about the CrossFit Games for at least 10 minutes, so I think we did well. We stayed true to it. But this is why I love talking to you when I have you on here. They're the best ones we do.
Well, Rogue, we've got Rogue coming up in what, a couple of months, haven't we?
Yeah.
What we know? Yeah, it's 2.5 months. We've got about 10 weeks. So that'll be the next one. I'm going. You say you're going. Are you having a stand there?
We've got a store, mate. So
cool.
To do some. We'll have to do a live from up there. We'll have to get.
That'd be cool, mate. I'll go live from your store. Hey,
are you going? Is it Jon that's going as well?
Yeah.
Cool. Should get. And Joey's going.
Oh, good.
So like he's going to be up there, so he's going to do a bit of a behind the scenes thing. Actually, while I've got you, even though we're live and we're just doing admin now, me and Joey are going to jump on because we've just finished the last affiliate series. So when we release that in September, beginning of September, me and Joey are going to go live and review it, and we're going to see if you wanted to come on and all, because we know you've been watching it. So me, you, and Joey will go through and talk about what we've done, what we saw, what we learned, and get you on for your take on it, because I know you've watched them all anyway. So it'd be cool that.
Oh, that'd be an honor. Yeah, pleasure. That'd be good.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Right, mate. I'll end it now. And cheers for jumping on.